I learned about Dr. King by studying sociology and by growing up African American in this society. Dr. King is the premier example of a public sociologist. Dr. King was admitted into Morehouse College at the age of 14 or 15, and he earned his bachelor's degree in sociology. When you think about all the incredible work that he's done, it's incredible, I think, the influence of sociology on his ability to see society and to identify how to make changes that were needed and still are needed in society to make equality a reality for people. I grew up in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I attended Atlantic Shores Christian School, and my family was very much rooted in faith. And I think that faith of recognizing that God made all of us equal and that beyond all of these things that might otherwise divide us, each of us has value. Each of us are deserving of security and safety and love and community. I give back to my community historically through volunteerism with my church. When I got married, my husband has a nonprofit called Rouse's House, and we do book bag giveaways and turkey giveaways at Thanksgiving. Through my classroom, I incorporate Dr. King's teachings very explicitly because he was a sociologist, so I reference some of his work when I teach on social movements and collective behavior, and I give and reference some of his writings about living through the turmoil of the civil rights movement and recognizing some of the factors that contributed to some of the violence that the public was witnessing. And Dr. King has a very famous quote, which he says, "A riot is the language of the unheard." And I have students kind of grapple with that and think about that. And what we recognize is that Dr. King doesn't justify riots. He's not advocating for it. He's not excusing it, but he thinks that in order to move forward peacefully, you have to hear what people are saying. And by the time people get to a riot, could it be because every other mechanism they've been unheard? So it's an advocate of listening to people before it gets to that point. How do we recognize and identify the issues and concerns of the most vulnerable people in our community? So I teach that, and I also have that way of thinking now that I'm in city council. When I think about the decisions that come before us, how does it affect the most vulnerable who perhaps haven't really felt their voices have been heard before?